All right, let's just jump right in. We've all been there, right? Staring at a to-do list, waiting for that magical spark of motivation to hit so we can finally get started. But what if that's the wrong way to think about it entirely? What if the real secret to being productive isn't about finding motivation, but about making it totally irrelevant? Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful idea, building a system that puts your progress on autopilot.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Motivation doesn't show up every day. It's a fair weather friend, you know? Relying on it is like trying to plan a huge road trip with a car that you know only starts half the time. It's just a recipe for disaster. You can't force inspiration, so why would you ever build your entire life's work around it? It just doesn't make sense.
So let's really break this down, what we're calling the motivation myth. We're always told, just find your passion, and the motivation will take care of itself. But what if that's exactly why so many of us get stuck and fail to produce anything meaningful? Let's take a look at why this whole approach is just, well, it's fundamentally broken.
And here's the thing that's so important to get. Most of us don't fail because we're lazy. Not at all. We fail because our days are completely unstructured. Waking up and asking yourself, what should I work on today? Feels productive, but it's actually a trap. That one question just explodes into dozens of smaller ones, and all those little decisions drain your mental battery before you've even written a single line of code or a single sentence. It's called decision fatigue, and it leads straight to doing nothing.
Okay, so if motivation is the problem, what's the answer? This is where everything shifts. We're moving to the system solution. And the goal here isn't to just grit your teeth and have more discipline. No way. The goal is to build a smart framework, a kind of personal machine that makes progress happen automatically, whether you feel like it or not. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. You've got two different worlds here. On the left, that's the motivation world. It's unreliable, it's sporadic, and honestly, it's exhausting because you're always fighting yourself to get started. But then you look to the right and you've got a system. It's automatic, it's consistent, and believe it or not, it's energizing because you're not wasting energy on that internal battle. You just do the work. It's the difference between trying to push a giant boulder uphill every morning versus just letting it roll down a track you already built.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually build this thing? Well, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is the blueprint for action. It really just comes down to three core principles that make the whole system click into place.
Principle number one. I call this the rule of one. It is so simple. Every day has one and only one primary output goal. And that word output is everything. This is not about vague tasks like work on my novel or study. Nope. It's about producing one tangible, finished thing. If you're a writer, it's 500 new words on the page. A developer, it's one specific bug squashed. A designer, it's one slide for the presentation done. It's clear, it's measurable, and it's all about creating something. Now, principle number two completely flips how you think about learning. You have to stop learning for the sake of learning. Instead, you start working on your one output for the day, and you keep going until you hit a wall. I mean, a point where you literally cannot proceed. That is your cue to learn. But you don't go watch a 3-hour course. You learn the absolute bare minimum you need to get past that one specific problem, and then you immediately go back and employ it. Learning stops being a form of procrastination and becomes a high-precision tool.
And the third principle is what holds it all together, decision removal. The big idea here is that your morning should be almost entirely thought-free. Your desk is set up the night before. You already know what your one output goal is. By automating all that little stuff, you're not just saving a few minutes, you're saving your most precious resource, your mental energy. Fewer choices in the morning means way more firepower for the work that truly matters.
So now we have the principles to actually build the system. But how do we know if we're winning? To do that, we have to throw out the old scorecard. It's time to create a new one that actually measures what matters.
I want you to forget about tracking how many hours you worked, forget how many emails you answered, or how busy you felt. In this new system, when your head hits the pillow, there is only one question you need to answer.
And that question is simply this: did I build something today? That's it. It's a yes or no. As you can see here, it's a binary choice. You either produced something, you made something new exist and you get that check mark, or you just consumed things. Articles, videos, social media. This one simple check-in completely shifts your focus from the illusion of being busy to the concrete reality of accomplishment.
And this all leads us to the final and, honestly, the most profound idea of all. Because this is not just about getting more stuff done. It goes so much deeper. Your systems, over time, literally define your outcomes. They turn your small, daily actions into who you actually are.
Just let that quote sink in for a moment. Being average is almost never about a lack of talent or a lack of potential. It's the default outcome when there's no system in place. It's what happens when all that amazing potential inside you is just left up to chance, waiting for a good mood or a random flash of inspiration. A system is what turns talent into real results, consistently. Without one, even the most brilliant person can stay stuck forever.
So the whole takeaway here is incredibly simple, but it's life-changing. Stop waiting around for motivation. It's not coming to save you. Instead, you need to become the architect of your own productivity. The question to leave with isn't how can I get motivated? The real question is, what's the very first tiny piece of my system that I'm going to build tomorrow?